You know, I feel when I started the idea of Nerf dumpster diving, I might have given you the wrong idea. Everybody seems to think it's gonna go something like this.
Wow, Walcom's gonna search the internet and find us the best deals on Nerf blasters!
When in reality, a majority of this show is probably gonna go something like this. So, don't get your hopes up. Or do. I'm not your dad. At least I'm pretty sure I'm not. Look, man, I know, but emptying bins alone is not going to solve all of our problems. You know that hole widening surgery you've been praying for? This little side hustle's gonna digivolve you to the next level. Man, why do I drink this? It's awful. The Jackbean Blaster just happening to be good and a good deal was entirely an accident. Today's blaster I feel is a little bit more towards the trashy side, but what do I know? I haven't even opened it yet. The Lee? We're just gonna call it the Thing from now on. Not that I think the name really means anything, because after all, it's pretty much randomly generated at this point. Case point, I found another blaster that appears to be almost identical to this one, which I'll also have linked down below. Links are down in the description, and thank you very much for using those, because it helps the channel out so much. I've already bought more stuff for this. Electronic soft bullet toy gun for boys, automatic shell ejecting toy guns, shooting educational toy for 8-12 plus kids. They couldn't even decide on an age rating for this one. This was purchased, I think, literally 8 months ago by Classic For Real. He sent it in the P.O. box. And I found the Amazon listing that has a picture of this exact blaster on it, so I hope it was this one. For the princely sum of $20. Now, for this one, there's a little bit of a backstory because there's a lot of shell-ejecting Nerf blasters that are basically mini AEGs on Amazon. I mean, there is a ton of them, and there is a ton of different designs that all kind of look similar, but have actual differences, at least by appearances. This one is extra stupid because not only does it have a magazine well with a magazine in it, but it's a chain-fed blaster. Now there are things out there that can use both, but generally not both at the same time. However, there's not nearly enough chain-fed blasters out there, and the thing with chain-fed blasters are they can actually be incredibly versatile and useful even when it doesn't deliver on power or rate of fire. Being able to basically fire forever without mag changes means you're far less prone to ever getting caught off guard in HVZ, or humans versus zombies. And if you do some kind of emplacement setup where you don't have to move, that power escalates even further. Range and rate of fire isn't exactly good. As long as you got like 2 to 3 darts a second, yeah, that's fast enough rate of fire. We don't need to hit the same person 14 times in a second. Likewise, not having to reload or being able to fire pretty much forever can really help a squad. All the other blasters I've seen that are shell ejection are, well, LARPing toys. They don't exactly benefit you much in an actual Nerf battle. 3-in-1 auto manual toy gun. Toy gun with ejecting shells has 3 shooting modes. 1, full auto. Keep pressing the trigger to fire any burst at your will. 2, semi. Each time the trigger is pressed, a soft bullet will be fired. I wonder how they guarantee that one. Manual mode. Pull the slide to load. The magazine will automatically provide your blaster gun with the next soft bullet. The magazine, is the magazine actually being used here? You can keep fighting even when the battery is out, which is kinda cool, but also worrying that they put that as like a huge thing in this listing. May the battery not be very good, I have wonders. Empty shell ejecting design, equipped with connectable individual bullet magazines. Okay, so they're calling the shells, or chains in this case, magazines. That is not right terminology. I can forgive clip and magazine, but chain and that's not gonna work for me, I'm sorry. You automatically get an F right there. See me after class. Connect them to shoot a cool chain of bullets. Each shoot with empty shell pop-up, automatically simulating actual combat shooting, giving you the feeling of being there. Yes, because you want your child to have nom flashbacks. It helps promote the kids' hand-eye coordination, and the equipped shooting target allows kids to enjoy the fun of shooting by themselves. Equipped shooting, is there a target in there? I genuinely don't think so. Assembly toy foam blaster. This automatic toy blaster is easy to assemble, and the accessories make your shooting more accurate and stable. Electric powerful foam blaster launches up to 30 to 45 feet, making it a perfect shooting toy gun sniper set for kids, teens, and adults. All right, so we have a base claim of range, 30 to 45 feet. That's N-Strike territory. Safe and harmless. This toy gun comes with soft bullets, suction cup darts made of soft EVA material, which are safe and harmless harmless to the human body. The darts with suction cups can be better locked on the smooth shooting target, an ideal choice for players who love gunfighting games indoors, in the yard, and in the wild. And of course, as with every single blaster will you probably ever look at in Nerf dumpster diving, gift for kids. This toy gun is highly recommended for kids age 6 and up. Okay, so first it was 8, 12 plus, now it's 6 plus. It is an amazing design toy gun with realistic, exciting shooting sounds for kids, teens, and adults that are fanatics of Nerf gun. The package includes toy gun, soft EVA bullets times 24, shells times 24, scope times 1, battery times 1, USB charging cable times 1, and package box. They're actually including the box in the listing of what is included. They're very proud of it. Now this listing right now is at a grand total of $20 on Amazon, but much like with the Jack Mean blaster we looked at previously, do not trust that listing. It will go out of stock and it will go back up. The similar Eaglestone automatic blaster, which looks to be the exact same thing just with more stuff, costs $35. So if it is the exact same blaster just with more stuff packaged in, you can benefit how much of a deal that is to you. But at $20, this seems pretty inoffensive for what we're potentially getting here, although the ranges appear to be pretty bad. This one appears to have a video from the manufacturer. Let's watch. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. You can tell this is a wannabe operator with the fingerless gloves as they attach the barrel, the rails, adding in our obnoxiously long suppressor and our sights, and adding a foregrip and a stock that is adjustable, stuffing the battery into the mag well, and then loading up our chain, connecting it together, inserting it into the left side of the blaster in a little roll because it doesn't have any kind of magazine. It's got a rather normal M4 style pullback on it, and yeah, it appears to fire a foam dart, and it doesn't de-link the chain, which is kind of interesting. You think it would kind of do something if they were to pack together, but flips a switch and it just starts de-linking every chain. That is legitimately cool. That is actually awesome. I wish you could choose if it would de-link every 5 or 10 links, but at least it does actually de-link change, which is something that no other Nerf competitor seemingly does right now and is one of the most important things. If I have the ear of any other kind of designer or engineer out there, especially for a major company, if you want to make chain-fed blasters viable, make a system where every about 10 shots the chain de-links and you could just connect them all together. If you want to do the endless loop or something, that's also fine as well, but the most important thing is not every other shell, because who wants to pick up the shell, load the dart in, and snap it into the chain, although that's honestly not that bad compared to individual shells you have to load into a magazine. But every like 10 shots the chain de-links, so you just have one nice big thing laying on the ground. Don't take that out of context. You can very easily pick it up, reload it, add it to your chain, and you can have a whole bunch of chain out there, so you don't have to worry about having like 50, 60 spent shell casing flopping off the side of your blaster and breaking it. Yeah, if this $20 Chinese blaster could do it, I'm sure you can figure it out at Hasbro. The M416 soft bullet gun 3 braking mode. It's got electric fully automatic, electric semi-automatic, and manual bolt action is what it claims. Chain bullets and shell ejecting. Safety soft bullets made of soft and highly elastic EVA material. It can also adhere to smooth surfaces like walls and glass. And of course, no Amazon listing is complete without a poorly photoshopped image of a kid receiving it for the holidays. Our first review here from Verified Purchase says, 5 stars, it's great. This is our son's favorite toy gun, and all the neighborhood kids that come play always want it. We live how realistic it is, I'm sorry to hear that, and it's a great tool for practicing safe handling space, period. Our first negative review says, don't waste your time with 1 star. The stock broke off after a single day of use. Was a total bummer for the kiddo. Well, that sounds like a skill issue, get good. And our middle of the road review comes from an Amazon Vine customer review of free product, and even then, they only gave it 3 out of 5 stars, saying it's a fun toy to play with. Pretty cool toy gun, has 24 suction darts, not a lot range when shooting, maybe 10 to 20 feet, not enough pressure from air cylinder to shoot the darts far. The toy gun itself is pretty cool, several shooting modes, automatic, blah, 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 blah. It's a toy and shoots like a toy, just fun to play with. There are a couple more reviews with a 70 global ratings of 4.1 out of 5. Most of them suspiciously being 5 stars. All right, let's see what we're getting ourselves into. The toy gun shell throwing 6 modes. M416 EVA, that is the coolest logo for EVA ever. Even got a little dart head right there. Electric and manual instructions. Shell throwing comes with 24 pieces of chain and 24 pieces of EVA soft bullets. No shoot in the eye from Mengji Toys. I probably butchered that, but whatever. USB charging interface, because this does come with a 7.4 volt 500 milliamp hour Li-ion battery. All the assembly instructions are right here. All the operating instructions are right here. And on the back, we can get it in camo, bright red, which is the one we have, or guaranteed to get you dropped in the park by cops or a concerned citizen. Maybe don't get that one. Or do. Again, I'm not your mom. And now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The money shot. Bag of stuff. Darts. Chain. Darts. Chain. Darts. Chain. Darts. Chain. Stock. Presser that she told you not to worry about. Barrel. Rails. Blaster. In our bag of goodies, we get one not ACOG scope, battery, and charger, a sight, another sight, neither of these have actual locking pieces on them, a thing, and our foregrip. Again, no actual anything on this. That is incredibly small, and it hurts every single time she says that. I can't fix it. Blaster itself, pretty weighty, although feels pretty okay solid, but not the solidest. Has HK stamped on it, HK 416D, caliber 5.56mm by 45. On the side, we got a 3-position switch for safe, semi, and auto. They could have made that ambidextrous, but didn't. But this switch right here is how we change between ejection and non-ejection. Not entirely see what changes when I do that? That'll be fun to find out. And on the bottom of the magazine, which is non-removable, we have what we now know to be, if you would freaking open up, please get out of there. I'm not asking twice, thank you. Oh, it's captive. Well, that's good. We got our battery connector, which we can take our tiny 500 milliamp hour lithium ion battery and just kind of snap that in and stuff that in there and hope it doesn't explode when we hit the trigger. And of course, we've got a Call of Duty gunsmith our way out of this one. So we've got our barrel. It looks like a way smaller Nerf N-Strike rail attachment. Just kind of put that on there. It's not very well lined up, but I can't twist it anymore, so we'll just have to deal. Our suppressor, which is just friction fit. Why are you so big? Our stock attachment point is actually very similar to an N-Strike muzzle attachment point, so we'll just take our stock and force it on there, and apparently this is adjustable. Oh, that's gonna break immediately. I understand why that review said it broke. That would not take very much punishment at all. We've got our rails, which just friction fit on. Awful. Our foregrip, there is no locking anything, so... Oh, I hate that. Oh, I really hate that. It's honestly a pretty decent fit. Our scope, this one does actually have some screw threads here, so we can put this... Is that going to be a running joke every single time I unscrew something? Our sights, non-adjustable, just shaped pieces of plastic. Would you believe it if I told you that actually changes it from like a 1.1 magnification to a 1.2? That's kind of funny. Our front sights, which will hopefully... Never mind. I mean, we know what this wants to be. Where even would you put that? I don't see that and that. Oh, I don't like that at all. Said it came with 24 pieces of chain, 6 times 4. Yeah, that'll do it, I guess. They snap together pretty easily. They fall apart pretty easily. They don't seem like the most durable thing ever, but I guess it works. It's quick and easy. Really could have came with more chain. That might be my biggest problem with this, because even if the blaster is good enough to actually use, yeah, I have magazines larger than 24 darts. The darts do go in pretty flush. These do appear to be shorter darts than normal, though. Yeah, this thing will not work with standard length foam darts. Short darts shouldn't be a problem, however. I also couldn't help but notice that there is absolutely no orange muzzle anywhere on this device.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Flip that up. And pull that back. Okay, it indexed the next dart, so we lost one of our shots. Oh, I don't think you can even see that, but are you freaking kidding me, dude? Yeah, okay, well, let's flip this into semi, see what happens. That's kind of fun. Although I can tell by the whining of the motor, we're not exactly dealing with high velocity here, so full auto. Wow, it even has detection when the last shot has gone. That's pretty alright for $20. The rate of fire, in my opinion, is perfect. The velocity, eh. And the fact that you can run it without a battery, that's pretty cool. But loading all of these back together every single time won't exactly be fun. And they seem a little bit too complex to 3D print. Not impossible, just probably not economical. All right, well, let's load this back up and see if Freddy is willing to chronograph it. All right, let's turn off the shell ejection. Let's put that back in there and... oh, we have to... oh, smart! You have to turn it back to safe and it will rewind the pusher and then it will fall out. I definitely haven't mastered that one. Lowering table. Boing! Alright, Freddy, what's the... really? What's the good news? Let's take that off. That's just gonna ruin our velocity. 58.4 feet per second. 62.6 feet per second. Switch it to semi and see if there's any drop there. 57.8. 63.4 feet per second and full auto to see exactly if there's any drop from that. The RPM was 214 per minute, and our highest velocity was 63.4, so no drop on full auto, which makes sense because it's an AEG. But now for the ultimate test, can it use short darts, and more importantly, do you get a velocity boost doing so? And it sticks out too far for us to shotgun it, unfortunately. 55.1, 47.8, 53 feet per second, 51.8, so we actually get lower velocities with half darts. That is so fake suppressor, that is longer than your entire blaster. Really? Really? So let's get one thing out of the way right off the bat. This thing is thin, cheap, creaky. It's not going to be very hard to break it. If you bought this for a child, I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the dumpster by the end of the week. This whole front attachment doesn't do anything, so we could technically take that... are you joking right now? Wow. Yeah, this is your actual blaster right here, and it would work perfectly fine without this completely useless barrel. Of course, it's not compatible with any other barrel attachments that I know of, although there might be some other cheap Chinese thing that will work with it. But the manual and electronic modes of play are actually really freaking cool. But of course, driving the entire system is probably the world's cheapest gel ball blaster, which explains the anemic velocity. Safe for kids, I assure you, and potentially fun for quite some time as long as the blaster doesn't die. The semi-auto rate of fire is not very responsive, but I would make the argument that the rate of fire on full auto is perfectly acceptable. And the stock is... I could twist this thing right off right now if I didn't need this blaster still for a thumbnail. But if it was properly taken care of, I don't see that being a big deal. It is technically a buffer tube, so before I look really silly, I mean, it technically works, but no. But your whole blaster would still work like this. And you're getting under stock Nerf performance. Range-wise, it said like, what, 25 to 40 feet? And yeah, flat, you can get a little over 25. Angled, you can get it around 40. And if you put it into mortar mode, yeah, you can almost hit 50 feet of range, which is, in my opinion, still viably usable. I have no idea how long this gearbox would last or the battery would last. Doing a complete burn down of the blaster just might take way too long. So let's go based off of the $20 that was spent on this thing on the Amazon listing you saw, which had like 6 units left and will probably jump up in price right after this video. Yeah, what you get here is pretty good. If you could get a couple thousand shots off of it, I think you would have a good time. This is the biggest limiting factor. I think this is way too little, and they are seemingly kind of proprietary. I'm sure there are other blasters out there that use these kinds of chains, but this didn't come with enough of them in my opinion. The $35 Eagle Stone one does come with 150, which I think is a lot better. It also comes with one of those absolutely terrible targets that I guess you could kinda use and have a little bit of fun with. That overall at $35 is pushing it, in my opinion, when it comes to being purchasable, but I think you could do worse. But at $20 even to tinker with and maybe find like a 3D printed design or make your own design of chain, maybe even throw the internals of this into a different blaster, I could see that being potentially worth it. All of these things together build this into quite an okay mediocre blaster. Truly not trash, but in my opinion, definitely not treasure. But with the attachments and the rechargeable battery, there is some fun to be had here, and I think younger nerfers would get some enjoyment out of it. The other side of that is human versus zombie players. The fact that you could bust this thing down into a pistol with a chain and still dispense justice from afar. Potentially you could build this into a little hip-mounted backpack rig with a couple hundred rounds of chain and have a pretty neat, economical, high-capacity last-ditch blaster. That's where that slower rate of fire will really keep you in the fight, and the longer capacity with the chains will keep the undead at bay. But this is 24 of them, and it's already taking up a bit of room. Ranking these blasters, I would give the Jackmean an A. I think it was a good value. I think it was a good performing blaster. I would put the knockoff HK416D into kind of like a B category. I don't recommend you buy one, but if you did because you had an Amazon card burning a hole in your pocket, you could do certainly a lot worse in my opinion. In terms of all of the foam flingers out there, this has a lot of stuff I wish I would see in later iterations that are far superior when it comes to reliability. Slightly beefed up internals with maybe a little bit more rate of fire and of course a little bit more velocity around 85-90 feet per second. And of course, much longer chain and far better reliability and build quality in general. I would pay a lot of money for that. These blasters have their use. While this one is almost firmly sit in the category of it's for kids, Walcom. And I get that, except for the fact that they took this outside, Susan will probably shoot them in the face and ask questions later. Truly not a bad blaster. If you want to pick up this or the nearly identical one as far as I could see, I'll have links down in the description. They're affiliate links that helps the channel out, which of course helps me buy stuff like this. I'm pretty sure things are gonna start going to the landfill pretty quick around here.